Hi, what am I going to talk about today? A debatable subject. Usually get everybody going. And that's treble hooks. What? Don't switch off. There's no point switching off. But, you know, it's a very old-fashioned way of fishing, whichever way you look at it. Right, when was the snap tackle or double treble hook rig invented? Back in the 1800s. 1800s, mid-1800s. Alfred Jardine. And what was his nickname? The Pike Killer. And what did he use? The double hook rig. Now, that's very archaic as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I cannot believe that in this modern age that this rig is still used. And as far as I'm concerned, it's totally unnecessary. Now, people tend to stick with the old ways. When people think of pike fishing, they just think, oh, treble hooks and double treble hooks. But you don't really need double hooks. If you don't feel comfortable fishing with one single hook, well, you could try two single hooks. That work just as well. Now, carp fishing has moved on, and using hair rigs and that. Really, hair rigs could possibly be used for pike fishing. The trouble with a double treble hook rig is for novices who start out piking. At the end of the day, these treble hooks have caused more grief and more deaths to pike than anything. Apart from people taking fish out and knocking them on the head. Now, so many anglers have let pike swallow these down, and once they get past the gullet, they're a hell of a job to get out. And what do a lot of pikers do? Oh, cut the trace, leave it in there. The acids will rot it away, eat it away. Untrue. It just does not. All it does is give the pike a long, lingering death. My father used to tag pike, and he got lots of records of fish caught over and over again, and yeah, it's quite interesting to see over so many years the pike gaining weight, and you could tell the health of a pike. One particular pike sort of followed over the years, perhaps from £8 upwards, and it got to £17. And his friend caught this particular pike with the tag on, and it swallowed the bait, and hooks down, had to leave the treble hooks in and trace in. Cut the trace off like a lot of people do. 8 months later, my father caught that pike again, and it had gone down from £17 to 11, and that was in such a state. It was all lean and thin. Poor old pike was in a real state. So what he did was knocked it on the head, just stop it suffering. So he decided to open it up, cut it open, have a look inside, and the trace from his friend was still in there, and the hooks, and they had not dissolved one bit. He said they were the fresh as the day they went in. So that proved that after 8 months that these do not rot away or get eaten away. All the pike does is suffer. The advantage with single hooks is if you did have a novice or a beginner piking and the pike did happen to gut hook, well, the single hooks, you'd always get them out. They're a piece of cake to get out. And the best way to get the hooks out usually is once you've got the fish laid on the side, open the gill covers and go in that way, under the gills, inside the gills, and usually once you sort of pull on the trace a bit, you can see the hook. With forceps, you can just turn the hook around and it comes out every time. But treble hooks, oh, it's a right game. Once you get one part out, another piece is still hooked in, and it's really difficult to get treble hooks out. It's like also with single hooks, well, people say you can't hook the bait very well. Well, at the end of the day, you don't need half a mackerel on. You don't need a whole mackerel on, or a whole bait at all, shall I say. Whatever, herring, sardine, you don't need a whole bait. You only need a chunk of bait. So a single hook, you just hook through, a little bit in a tube, little square, hold the barbless hook in. The pike will find it, whatever, and that'll pick that up. You don't have to have big baits. Small baits will do the job. A pike will take almost anything. It's just that our human mind tend to think, oh, big bait, we're going to catch a big pike. It don't always work that way. But, you know, people should experiment a bit more. You know, try things out. You know, a lot of people think, oh, I daren't, I'm going to lose fish and that. Well, fish your normal way with your treble hooks on one rod if you want. And try the single hook way and you'll be surprised. If you've got plenty of pike in the water, you can experiment a bit. But, you know, give it a go. But I'm not saying don't use treble hooks. You know, if that's what you feel happy with. But just give the single hooks a try. There's no harm in trying, is there? But, no, I've fished with single hooks for, God, over 30 years, and I've had no trouble at all. It's just, you know, believing in it, that's all. But it's up to you. Right, this is all you need. It's a single hook and just a small bit of bait. You don't need nothing massive. I've got a size 2 hook here, and I cut half the head away so expose all the gills of the mackerel, so it's nice and smelly, everything oozes out. Just a little tiny bit of inner tube on the hook just to stop it, because there's a barbless hook and that'll just stop it coming off on the cast. I always used to like trying something different, and I'm always trying something different. So, yeah, give these a miss. Give these old things a miss. But it's also going to be a lot better for novices and beginners. If they could learn to fish a different way, a safer way, then we'd stop all the carnage created by these. We love our pike, so we've got to look after the welfare of them. Anyway, give it a thought. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again sometime, hopefully with a big fish. Bye.